this every day. The town is full of predator, don't turn a little prey. I flip $1 million out of nothing, make them feel a certain way. Hoping that the switch.
What's good, y'all? Fisk Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fisk. You know why you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Listen, shout out to Saquon Barkley, man. He's our second best player on offense. In my opinion, when he's 110% healthy, I think he's probably the best running back in the league. I think he's the most explosive. I think he could do the most with the ball in his hands. He just hasn't had the opportunity because obviously the Giants' offensive line has been trash for a decade. I mean, for real, I don't think we've had a good offensive line since we won the Super Bowl. I think that's the last time we've had a competent offensive line. So we haven't even been able to see the best of Saquon Barkley yet. And when I hear things about him rehabbing and him saying he's going to take his time, he's not going to rush back, it makes me nervous and happy at the same time. Let me explain. A piece of me feels like this. I don't want you to rush back because I don't want you to re-injure yourself. You're already proven to be a little fragile. 2 straight years you've been hurt. Let's call it what it is. 2 straight seasons he's been hurt. And, you know, I don't want you to rush back and get hurt again. But there's a piece of me that feels like if you're not ready week 1, what went wrong? Because this is normally a 10-month injury. So 10 months, if you get injured in September, by July you should be healthy. You know, y'all get where I'm coming from with that? So for him to not be healthy, for him to say I'm not going to rush back, it makes me feel like either he's going to play super duper cautious, which means he learned from his lesson with the high ankle sprain. Because remember, he came back early from the high ankle sprain 2 years ago and was trash. Remember that game versus Chicago when Daniel Jones had more rushing yards than Saquon? I think Daniel Jones went like 3 or 4 games with more rushing yards than Saquon Barkley. So, now, of course, he picked it up in December. You know, he killed Washington, killed Miami. He has, you know, typical December Saquon. December Saquon is a demon. But, you know, it's just, it makes me wonder, people. It just makes me wonder about the future of Saquon Barkley. Now, I know Adrian Peterson broke his leg, came back, won an MVP. Dalvin Cook, he's torn his ACL, came back, probably had the best year of any running back in the league. Because once again, that monster in Tennessee don't catch balls. Dalvin Cook catches passes. So if you ask me who had a better season, Dalvin Cook or Derrick Henry, I'm probably going to lean Dalvin Cook. So we have examples as Giants fans. We have examples to look at and say Saquon will be fine. Also, the line is better. The line is way better. Lemieux and Thomas and Pert and Zeitler, like, they look good run blocker for Goldman. They look real good run blocker for Goldman. So there's hope. What makes me nervous with Saquon is he's injury prone. He's fragile. So for him to come out there and say, well, I'm not going to rush back. Is it in his head now? It's one thing for me to be a YouTuber and come out and say, oh, well, Saquon is fragile. It's another thing for it to get inside his own head. Derrick Rose, ring a bell, people. RG3, ring a bell, people. Where now they try and change the way they play, or they try and be too cautious and it messes with their game, you know, messes with the way they play. I don't want to see cautious Saquon. I want to see shake and bake, spin moves, jukes. I want to see all the great things that make Saquon Barkley electric. I don't want him to come back and try and be conservative. You feel me? So I hear quotes like this from Saquon, and you know, I'm just like, bro, you the best running back on the planet. And when you come back, I'm going to need you to still be that. Bottom line. I'm going to need Saquon Barkley to still be that. This is not a situation where Saquon Barkley can come back and be anything less than the best running back on the planet, especially with his contract coming into play. I mean, he's up for an extension at the end of the season. Giants fans, let that sink in. We still haven't seen the best of Saquon Barkley, and he's up for an extension at the end of the season. Time flies, people. Time flies. He had one of the greatest rookie running back seasons of all time. He was a bust his second season, and then in year 3, he tore his ACL. So we really haven't. What have we seen from Saquon? You know what I'm saying? Especially, it's like a lot of his catches was a product of Eli Manning. I called him check down Eli. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that is a product of Eli Manning just checking the ball down all game. When he was with Daniel Jones, he wasn't catching the ball as much because Daniel Jones doesn't throw check downs to the running backs all game. That's just not what Danny does. Danny can run a little bit. He can get out of trouble. Danny can do more things. But I don't know, fellas. Giants Nation, I'm not sure. I already recorded a Saquon Barkley video that I'm planning to release later this week. Now I'm probably going to go and re-record that video. So there will be another Saquon Barkley video coming out. I might push it the next week. I don't know. Because I got some Eli Manning stuff I want to do. I don't know. But the beauty of the offseason is I can plan these videos and put them out on a day where there's no news. I can put 3 or 4 videos in a tank for y'all, and if there's no news, I can drop them. But I definitely want to get some Eli Manning Super Bowl stuff out because the Super Bowl's in a few days, so that has to be done. But other than that, y'all, I want to know how y'all feel about Saquon Barkley not rushing back. May or may not be ready for week 1. We don't know. But my thing is this, Saquon, I hate to be that guy, but I will look at you funny if you're not ready week 1. Because I watched Daniel Jones, no matter how much I hated the fact that Daniel Jones went out there and wasn't healthy. If our quarterback can go out there on a bad ankle in one leg and a bad hammy on the other leg and beat the Cowboys, Saquon, I expect you to be ready week 1, whoever our opponent is. I hate to be that guy, but when the quarterback sets the tone, Daniel Jones, you say what you want about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones set the tone that we're going to be a tough team. We're going to play through injuries, and we're going to suck it up. He set the tone with that. Daniel Jones set the tone for our team. When you're hurt, deal with it. He set the tone. So you can't have a quarterback tougher than you. Don't be LaDainian Tomlinson sitting on the sideline with his visor on while Phillip Rivers is playing on the torn ACL in the AFC Championship game. Don't be that. So we'll see, Giants fans. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. That's it. That's all. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fisk Vegas, and I approve this message.